right, so NBA action. Um, Start off by the way, congratulations Indiana for being one of the few away teams to win. Uh, they got back to their way of playing ball of just like offense, speed, and offense. And Milwaukee, it also seemed like they also got put on a little bit more defense because it looked like Milwaukee's like had more of a struggle, especially in the half court. But also Milwaukee was also missing shots, but they were making sure they clamped down more on Dame, and I was like Middleton really couldn't get as much separation as well too. Like I was like, which I basically you have. This is one of the few matchups I was like, this is one of the few matchups where it is like old versus young, and that's sort of how I felt with this one, where they just had a lot of athletic dudes as well that they could throw at. Really, and let's be honest, the only people that could really score on Milwaukee, Middleton and Dame. I was like, cause everybody else like yes they can hit shot, but they're not scores. If that makes any sense. Um, but yeah, no. So that I was like good with them there. I was like only got to see a little bit of the end of the game, especially. Uh, but then we have Jesus, it's escaping me. It's escaping me. But the Timberwolves and Phoenix. There we go. Jesus Christ. I Phoenix is in trouble. I like whatever y'all. I was like, whatever y'all feel about the Lakers, I feel like you should probably feel worse for Phoenix. Just because the Lakers are in every game, and it's just like, damn, it just feels like the one team you just can't get over. That's not what Phoenix feels like. Phoenix just feels like they're outmatched in a way that I don't think that a lot of us thought it'd be like this. It's like is the Timberwolves a better team? Yeah. I was like, will you do you think they're gonna win the series? Yes. Do you think they're just gonna be that outright dominant? Sorta. Like if you told me they was just getting killed on the board, I'd be like, okay, that's understandable. But if you told me also that the people that you would think of scoring isn't scoring for the Timberwolves, but they're they're beating Phoenix, it'd be like, okay, explain, let me know. But the Timberwolves are a complete team. I was like to use that show with McDaniels and that show with Conley where Edwards wasn't all the way there scoring. Um, I was like, of course their defense is there, but it also shows that in order for Phoenix to win, basically like it was almost like last year. Like last year when they were faced when they had a hard time facing against the Clippers that was depleted with people where it was just rushing Norman Powell pretty much, and man, and that team. But then when they got to face Nugget, it was just kind of like, this is sort of how it is too. Unless those boys score, they don't have a chance here. Like, and I mean, they got those three have to go for nearly 30 each in order to and they're not getting anywhere close to that. Yes, that is the defense of the Timberwolves, but it is just not there. It just doesn't. There's no flow to it. There's no, and I was like, I understand that the whole point guard thing and how sometimes it seems like that could be overstated, but it there's no movement. There's no real flow. It doesn't seem like their shots aren't easy. They're not working with each other. Is Yeah, it's just in a way where just like unless I say three, but I was like even if you could probably get two of the three going like nuclear and the other one is just it's like really good. I like like it'll have to be one of those where it's like they're overwhelming with the way that and the amount that they're scoring, and that sort of put them in the fizzy on for them Timberwolves side. And then Grayson Allen had his thing with his ankle, and I'm just like, that's really the other dude that can really score. I was like, cause Eric Gordon sometimes give you stuff, but not fully. And after that, you over here just plucking people out of the stands at that point. Yeah, I'm not saying I was like I don't think it's gonna be a sweep, but it's going to feel like damn, they at least they got one, I guess. But that's how it feels. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking bleak in all type of way because you I was like the Timberwolves aren't even still playing at like their apex of game. Um, so then we got the Clippers and we got the Mavs. A lot better game, a lot closer game. Um, I was like, I felt like their team. I was like the Mavericks. Their team, one, they all played better. They all responded better. Uh, Not that everybody was on fire. That wasn't Kyrie or Luka. And I think even Luka didn't have like his best game, but he had a really good. I was like he had a really good game. Um, they all hit shots. Like they all hit. They hit shots at a timely manner. It was really active. Not just on defense, but also like hustling for balls and at least like the attempt felt like something, and that's like, and they wasn't just missing wide open crazy shots like they did in the last game. I was like, it just felt more of the effort was there, and maybe that's because there was a lot of the folks, like PJ Washington never been in this spot, Lively never been here. I want to say Gafford as well too, because I don't think those Washington teams while he was there. I think maybe one of them may have went to the playoffs. Um, yeah, so I was like, a lot of people that you're counting on. I was like, Kleber hasn't really been playing like how he been in the past, but he's still been good enough. And I was like, you got him on the floor, he can play 4 to 5, that kind of thing with the bigs they got. I thought Josh Green gave them like some really good minutes. I was like, because that's one of the defensive dudes. I was like, and I thought Dante Exum played really like he played good in spots as well too. But I was like, and I think Kyrie sort of like held him afloat, especially like then once Luka started rolling, it was a wrap. Cause I thought he at times he slowed the ball sometimes too much. And I was like, instead of just like running and gunning, I was like, and I get it, that's his game where he got to do a little step back. But I was like, they got the body to throw at him, and sometimes I felt like he was being stubborn with it. Where it's like, I was like, Kawhi's here, Paul here, James Harden, like they're all big bodies, even like Westbrook is a big body, even if you got switched on. Man's a big body, So like, there's enough people here. Like Zubac, he's not a total, when he's on the perimeter. I was like, so I felt like that's what their plan was to really stop Luka. But Luka got once he started getting going, it was sort of round. The Clippers, I was like, you can't. Okay, so they can't win without Kawhi, but also playing with Kawhi is also an adjustment that like sort of sucks that he hadn't been there for as long as he hadn't been there. Just because like the way Harden sort of plays is really like there's a good tempo there. Like how Westbrook there, his tempo really fast. I was like, with Harden, it is like it's not walking it up, but it also isn't fast paced. He's able to get the ball moving a lot faster. Whereas with Kawhi, it just sort of sticks. He got to pound it. He got to do his stuff. It's LeBron esque in a sort of type of way, where it could sort of slow down the offense and hinder sometimes of like everybody else getting the ball. That's why it was sort of a little bit more fluid. It's always been more fluid when it's like Harden, George, Powell, that kind of thing. So I think that was their adjustment. I think that took them a while to try to get over, because I was like, a lot of times when they were sort of making a comeback, they stopped trying to force feed the ball to Kawhi. It was more like he was there, and I was like, he was still a presence because he still was like getting steals and playing on defense. But I was like, but they wasn't giving him the ball, and now like how they criticize James Harden, like you give him the ball and then you got to pound, pound, pound and wait. I was like, it's not the too different with Kawhi, where it's like, okay, he got to do his stuff, he got to try to size them up and all this other stuff. I was like, you've seen that they got that. They started to learn a little bit of that towards the end of the game. I just think it was a little bit. It wasn't, well, not that it was too late, but I was like, by that point, like I said, Luka heated up. Kyrie has already been playing well, but Luka was hitting big shots, and then by then a lot of those other guys like PJ and all that other stuff was hitting time like good shots. and being they was already active instead of everything else. I think that, but I do think I like this series to me has the potential to go seven. Um, I know it's easy to when you just see it on paper to be like the Clippers because of the amount of people they have in comparison uh, to the Mavericks, but sometimes the Clippers can also be there in their own way. PG has like a little bit of an iffy night. Which sort of sometimes happen once Kawhi gets there. Not gonna lie. I was like James Harden. I was like he wasn't the same guy he was in the first game. I think that was sort of a little bit because of Kawhi and being like, okay, well now we got an extra person here. I got to make sure I got to get the other guy to touch it because he go, like it sort of changes how you sort of play sometimes. But this is going to be a good series. So I was like, I forgot who I said that will pick the win, but this is like actually the one series where I don't actually have a idea or favoritism to even try to, you know, pick anybody here. But anyway, I was like, that was the game. I'll see y'all for the next set. Peace.